for some really good performers here at Margaret River. One of them is about to paddle out into the second round. Jay Davies got a call up as a wild card in this event last year and actually defeated Jeremy Flores in a man-on-man heat. So a bit of history between these two competitors. Jeremy Flores so fired up after losing to Taj Burrow in the first round in a close one.
Yeah, he definitely looked ramped up for that matchup with Taj, and you can see he was angry after he lost because he ripped the bag out of his wave. Yesterday,
he was losing his mind, and here's Jay Davies on the replay. So good in the tube.
Wow, pretty cool there. So that was, not something that he was looking for. He just reacted. He took off behind that peak and said, you know what, this thing is really nice and hollow, and he's going to tuck straight in right there. So great reflexes, Ronnie, for him to be able to be that flexible and just kind of whatever the wave offers you, you got to react, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, Jay Davies getting himself a 7.17 early on, so a good start to this round 2 heat with priority having a look. A 27-year-old losing out in the first round with one of the better heat score totals of the event, and he hasn't lost anything today by the looks of things as he blitzes his way through to the inside, sticks that final turn. Jay Davies right behind him. Couple of solid turns, big finish. The Hulk finishing up on the inside, just hanging on to that turn. So Jay Davies not surfing with as much speed as Jeremy, but certainly throwing some muscle into his moves. But yeah, Jeremy Flores putting some anger into his surfing on this ride. This was a decent score, a 7.23 for this wave, Ross.
Pete Mel said it, and I totally agree. He's going to be faster. He's going to look quicker, Jeremy Flores, but for Jay Davies, he's got a really heavy foot. I mean, you could argue he's got the heaviest feet on tour. What I mean by that is he just really pounds on the deck of his surfboard. He doesn't try to be agile and kind of bounce around out there. He really pushes on his turns. So he's going to have the advantage in terms of surfing bigger out here, which is always a good thing because we're so far away from the surfers up here on the bluff.
Well, they probably made them for Jay Davies, those jerseys.
I don't know. You think he's worried about it, the jersey flapping around? No, see, it's a priority thing. So, I don't know. I mean, in terms of that little slow-mo right there, that he's saying Jay paddled for that wave.
And are you able to pick up on that speed with the lineup so far away? We'll revisit that in a moment, but right now Jeremy chasing the number to get himself back in front. Moving down the line, a tricky wave to surf, just 2 sections. Not sure if that is going to turn this one for him. He might need more.
If you can combine a really heavy foot with flow, you're going to really enjoy a pretty big advantage over someone who's looking too light-footed. But we talked about Jeremy's form right now, and he is flared up this year. He's just very intense with the choices of moves. So even though he's not as strong or as heavy as Jay, I think if he picks up on the right waves out here, he can get huge scores. It's rippable. And when it's big like that right there, you're just looking to kind of hold on. What was cool about last year is we saw some amazing barrels.
Back to live action now. Jeremy Flores chasing down that 7.38. Last wave was a 5.33. Not giving up on this ride just yet. And just bashing this thing. Jeremy yesterday on tapered walls.
Jeremy's technique, he's changed it a little bit, which is huge for someone at his age and who's been on tour for a long time. It's rare to see someone kind of change anything at all. He's opened up his carves a little bit. He's gotten a little more extended. He used to have this really tight whip with sort of like John where he'd leave part of his body behind. He's been keeping his body with him through those carves, kind of Mick Fanning-esque, and it's been helping him get through those hacks a little better.
In smaller conditions. Definitely looks like that is being translated into his heat surfing as we see Jay Davies now looking to dispose of a 7.17 to push further ahead here. Silky first turn into a neat grab rail carve. Looks like he's putting his foot down on this ride and accelerating a bit more through his turns. And he'll kick out on the inside. He might just improve his lead here.
Jay Davies definitely picked up the slack from his first round heat. You could tell he didn't surf like himself in that first round. He had a frustrating heat. I love how cruisy he is in this wave. He didn't try to oversurf it because look how windy it is. So nice starting carve, grab rail carve right there. Almost a fade back after that second maneuver. So amazing how calm he was on a wave that was really hard to surf.
This time last year, it felt like Jay Davies had a piece of equipment. He borrowed a board from Jake Patterson. He had a board that looked like it worked well on the barrel, but in this event to see the form surfer on the QS so far in 2016, and that is a young Italian, Leonardo Fioravanti, just surfing in his second CT event. Had a wildcard performance over in France a couple of years back as a grommet. And Leo is a special talent, so looking forward to seeing him surf in the second round. But right now we're watching Jeremy Flores tracking down a 7.38. He's been looking for this number for some time. He's got a decent looking wall, really linking these moves together nicely. Hard end section to figure out, is it going to bottom out on dry reef? Is it going to flatten out?
Ronnie, that he's going to get the 7.38. It feels like it's right there in that neighborhood. Beautiful wave. Look at that thing, perfectly groomed. Let's see how strong that first turn is. Just got a little hung up. Again, the wind is tough. Better on the second one, but cut it short because that thing troughed out. I like the third snap. You know, it was an exciting section. It hollowed out and he tagged the lip, but not spot on in every maneuver. So, you know, there's a chance the judges won't drop the number he needs.
Well, the numbers are coming through. And Jeremy Flores has done enough to get himself into the lead here. 7.57. So he now has put Jay Davies in second spot. Jay needs a 7.38. A very close heat here. The first heat of the second round.
Which is not, you know, the intensity you need to win a heat. But, you know, you just have to embrace it. And it's really tough to do, especially if you get put against the screws. You know, if you're in a position where you need a score and the clock is counting down, it can really work against you. You get too nervous. As we see a recap here, Ronnie, Jay Davies, I really liked his 6.6 too. You know, even though it didn't make his top two, he looks very calculated, smooth. But now that he's up against it, you know, Jeremy just flipped the script on him. He's going to need that exact same score again. These are all right around those mid sevens. So this is that one first turn where he got just a little hung up, another little snap, but this third turn right here made the difference. Nice hollow section and just cracked it. So really close heat here, Ron.
Something to be said for surfing with a lot of speed too. Jeremy, on his best ride, the 757, he didn't really do a maneuver that kind of blew your mind, but he executed everything with so much speed. He kept his rails clean.
I thought it was really nice looking. I think that he's gonna have to look really engaged here.
Well, here goes Jay now. This might be his last shot at it. There's 40 seconds to go. Caught behind here, and he's gonna have to do some big work on the inside. Does his best to throw a high-risk move, but didn't have much speed for the section. 35 seconds to go. And Jay Davies, massive run here last season. It might fall short in 2016. Having a look at this one. It's standing up. The surfer representing France is not going to commit. He kicks out. This one is coming to a close. And Jeremy Flores, he gets Jay Davies back for that round 5 loss last year.
Yeah, he's going to really like that win. Not only because he beat Jay Davies, who was ripping, but he absolutely ripped in his heat against Taj. So that's going to feel good for Jeremy to get that victory.